From dreaming to becoming a football star, to grinding through the 9 to 5 life in an IT firm, to finally opening up his own gym back in 2017. Our guest today, Carlos Villa, a fitness freak, a gym enthusiast, and an entrepreneur, has been quite on the roller coaster of life. On the show today, we will be cultivating his passion and how he turns it into a reality. And hello everyone, this is Bryler, and welcome to another episode of Cultivating the Masses. This podcast is a collaboration between Culture Talent and Renegade Radio. Without further ado, let's get to it. Good evening. Thank you so much for making your time with us today.
Good evening.
Right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks to Adam here for bringing you over as well. For our listeners, just in case they don't know how did we actually have this relationship, is that, you see, we used to work together in terms of like launching your brand,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
I believe you worked with some of our colleagues at the time as well. I do want to move forward with getting to know you more personally, I would say, because I never really got the chance to really sit down and talk to you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is Carlos, but I never really get to know him in
Yeah.
person, right? So first and foremost, I would like to ask that name. Your
Carlos.
name, yeah, Carlos Villa or Villa?
Villa.
Villa.
Yeah.
All right. Where are you from, actually?
I'm from the Philippines,
Right.
actually, yeah.
Okay.
But I've lived in Malaysia pretty much all my life. Well, about just over 20 years.
20 years
Yeah.
in Malaysia.
Before that, I was born in Hong Kong.
Oh, you were born in Hong Kong?
Yeah, my parents lived there. So funny thing is, I've never lived in the Philippines.
Oh, really?
But because my parents are from the Philippines, I have a
Do
Philippine
you speak
passport.
Philippines with your
Tagalog?
parents? Yeah,
No,
Tagalog. No?
No. I'm not very proud of it. We speak English at home.
All right.
We speak English at home, but I understand, if that helps.
All right. How about your parents? Like, when they communicate with each other, do they speak in Tagalog? Or,
Yeah, they do.
A little bit of
But predominantly
English,
English, to be honest.
I see.
Predominantly English. Yeah.
Right. So you spend about, your age currently is
I'm 28 this year.
28. So you grew up in Hong Kong probably about 8 years, then your family moved out.
7 years.
Okay, then you
Moved
guys moved
here.
out to...
Yeah, and studied here since. Well, went to the UK for a bit for university.
Okay.
But grew up in. Whoops, sorry.
No worries. You see, that's the thing. It's a subconscious thing, right?
I'm gonna try and refrain from the table.
It's okay.
But yeah, grew up most of my life in the Philippines.
Okay.
No, KL.
Right. In Montclair specifically.
The last few years, Montclair.
Mm-hmm.
But within 10 minutes away from here. Yeah.
All right. So I just wanted to know, since you spent for about 20 years in Malaysia, you do have that sort of like accent in your way
Oh,
of
really?
speaking. Yeah. It sounds more Philippines actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess
Okay.
it comes in the genetics, huh?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Now that we know a little bit of history about you, right? I just wanted to know about you prior to your union strength days, right?
Yeah.
Growing up in Malaysia, what kind of person are you? Were you like, what was your lifestyle? Is it similar to what you're practicing right now? Or is it the complete opposite of what you're doing? Yeah, just share with us a little bit of the story growing up.
Growing up, I was always sort of in the fitness. I was always the fitness guy. So
Right.
I grew up playing a lot of sports.
Mhm.
And I picked up my first love, football,
Right.
in school growing up. But yeah. As a kid, I was like going to an international school here. You're sort of encouraged to play a few sports.
Right.
So I balanced that with studies, obviously. But once I hit a certain level, probably about 15, 16, I just decided I'll just go for one sport. I just focused purely on football. So growing up as a kid in school, it was really studies, football, home, studies, football, home, studies, football, home. And then yeah, so I was always generally into fitness.
Generally into
Yeah.
fitness. Do you still play football?
I just started again.
Okay. How long
in
has
the
it been
last-
since you...
Wow. So I played quite competitively until university. And then the plan actually was to play professionally after
Okay.
that. Things didn't go well. I tore my ACL, tore my
Oh, man.
my ligaments in my knee, and so I quit. Then I played just casually till about 2016, and then I stopped completely. Just stopped. And a year after that, that's when I picked the gym opened, and so I was
Yep.
purely focusing on just gymming. But then I picked up football again in the last 2 months or so, and it's been fun. It's really
Right.
been fun. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you tore your ligament,
Yes.
right? I do have a question. When you went to the doctor, if you might say
Yeah.
that way, they told you can't play anymore, or was it more of like give it some time to heal?
So how it happened at the start was I got into a collision training playing football, and initially it was a meniscus tear on my knee, and that didn't need any surgery.
Okay.
But being my stubborn self, I still kept playing, and my knee kept buckling, it kept twisting
Oh
and stuff.
man.
So it led to needing a surgery
Right.
because my ACL, the ligaments tore. And yeah, I was just very stubborn. Doctor said you need surgery. I took a year out just thinking it would heal miraculously. It didn't.
Right.
So in 2014, I decided just go for the surgery. Yeah.
So you did.
So I did. Yeah. Yeah.
And how was the process like during that time?
Painful. Most painful thing I've done in my life. But it took about. I mean, I was because I really wanted to get back playing again. So to be honest, it took about 6 months for me to be able to play again. But like the knee was never the same since.
Right.
So
Man, it must have been hard for you to like really accept that. I believe that's the only passion that you have at the time,
yeah.
right? And to see it just go away because of, okay, number one, your stubbornness, but then
Yeah.
again, it's because of an injury, and
Yeah.
it must have been hard for you to take it in.
It was very tough. It was a tough period of my life. But I mean, now thinking about it, it's led me to a lot of other opportunities like
Right.
entrepreneurship and opening the gym. And you know, I'm willing to accept that I wouldn't have made it to the top of the top
Right.
playing football anyway. You know, so it was something. I mean, at the standard I was playing, I guess you could consider me good, but professional is a whole new ball game.
Right.
So,
Right.
so maybe my career wouldn't have even have lasted very long, right?
It's more of like a blessing in disguise, if you might
Yeah,
say
so
that.
I see it that way. I don't look back anymore. But like I said, it is my first love. I love playing. Like I just started again, and I do really enjoy playing.
Right. Do you watch a lot of football as well yourself?
Not as much these days. Not as much these days. But
Well, which club do you belong to? Share with us.
so I don't call myself a fan anymore. But growing up, I did watch Man United a lot.
Ah,
So.
there we go. GGMU.
Are you a United supporter?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching a lot of football match as well, especially back in Ronaldo days in United.
Which Ronaldo?
Right? Cristiano Ronaldo. Right?
Okay.
As soon as he left Manchester United, I'm like, nah, I'm no longer interested. I don't want to watch MU anymore.
fair
But I do
enough.
keep myself updated from time to time.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't call myself a fan anymore.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, anyways, now that we know that you actually got into the part where you got injured, you had to stop football, and there was a 1 year gap before you opened your own gym, right? So, what was the idea behind Union Strength, which is your gym, and how did that all started at the first place?
So picking up from the story before,
Mm-hmm.
injured myself, had surgery. That was in 2014, and I was put into obviously I had to do rehab.
Right.
And what really frustrated me with the rehab centers here was they only had a one size fit all program for everyone to get back in shape. So I was doing the same exercises as people probably not as fit as me, aunties, uncles,
Right.
and people much younger than me. We were lifting the same weights, doing the same reps, everything. And I got a bit frustrated because I told the physio, I said, hey, look, no disrespect, but like, you know, I played quite competitively growing up. I'm used to physical pain and pushing myself.
Right.
Please, can you work me harder? You know, I'm happy to lift heavier weights or do more sets and more reps and stuff like that, challenge me. And the physio just said, I'm so sorry, like you have to follow everything that's on this program.
What?
And that frustrated me a bit because I said, you know what, I could probably accelerate my recovery if I, push a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So that frustrated me. Initially, I said, you know what, like why isn't there anything out there right now in KL that focuses on getting you back on the pitch ASAP,
Right,
something that's
right,
very
right.
sports driven. So at the time, I said, hey, it would be amazing to set up a facility where we could bring in physios, top level physios, and our clients would be uh, athletes.
Mm.
So I said, yeah, it would be cool if we opened a gym that had this. So that was the initial idea
Right, right.
around Union Strength. So that was at around 2014. The gym
Mm.
only opened in 2017.
Right.
So it took about 3 years of thinking of about the gym and how it would be. Eventually, I took out the physio part and I said, you
Right.
know what, let's just open a gym, a strength and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
conditioning gym. But it's something uh, that I really took seriously because after I stopped football, I picked up the gym.
Right.
And most serious lifters would know that if they take the gym seriously, in their head at one point they would have thought of, hey, it would be cool if I opened my own gym.
Right, right.
So that's how it really started with
Mm.
me, and I pushed through and said, you know what, let's open a gym.
Nice.
So yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Before Union Strength, we've done a few research as well on
Mm.
you. We noticed that you're working at an IT and e-commerce company,
Yes.
right? And when was the moment that you felt that that wasn't for you?
So, firstly, the corporate world really wasn't for me.
Right.
It wasn't my thing. First year, I worked in an IT company. Didn't really like that, so moved on. And I found this e-commerce company, which was relatively new at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Worked there for about 2 years. And that was a lot better than my first job.
Mm-hmm.
The culture was much better. I was working with younger, more vibrant
Right.
people, and e-commerce was really the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, but what made me change? Obviously, the gym was in my head for a while already. Um, I just it just wasn't my thing. I wasn't very driven. I was
Right.
coming into work at 9 a.m. already thinking I want to go home at 6,
Right.
because because I don't really want to be
Right.
here. I'd wake up in the morning and think, oh, I don't want to go to work today.
Right.
So, and I knew I had a lot more to offer. So, basically what happened there was, so this e-commerce company, it's built around campaigns, running campaigns and
Mm-hmm.
promos and stuff like this. And whenever we were close to a campaign, work would be so strenuous,
Right.
going out, chasing deals,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get good prices to sell online. So I came home one day and it was late, and I said, you know what, I'm not happy. This is
Right.
not really, this is not really my thing. And I was only able to work out, once, twice a week, which for some people is a lot, but for someone like me, it's really not a lot.
Right.
So that's when I said, I want to be happy, and let's really start focusing on building that business plan to open
Mm.
the gym.
Right. So when
Yeah.
you were working with that e-commerce company, right? What position were you assigned as?
So I started off as a merchandiser.
Mm-hmm.
In simple terms, that's sort of
Right.
marketing for a specific category. So in e-commerce, there are a lot of different categories.
Right.
You're selling furniture that was
Mm-hmm.
called home and living. There's an
Mm-hmm.
electronics category. There's a digital goods category. So I was just doing marketing for one category, and then I transformed into more category management, which is
Right.
leading one whole category in terms of sales, marketing, so on and so forth. So that was the role I had. It was, at my age, I think it was relatively
Yeah.
respectable, but it just
Right.
wasn't my thing.
Understood. I do have a question. When you were working at that e-commerce company, right?
Mhm.
Was there multiple time where you actually felt like this is not for me, but then again you still decided to stay just because you wanted to see how far can it go? Or was it something like you decided from that point onwards and you just like, okay, this is not for me, it's time to bail? Or was it like,
It was a mix of both
mm-hmm,
because obviously after university, football didn't go as planned. So the
right,
next thing was, hey, get a job. So it was my point to prove, uh, to I think you can say my family and my friends that I could make it big in the corporate world.
right,
So there was that element of just grind, and you'll make it, you know. Um, Whether you like the job or not, just grind and a good
suck it up,
opportunity will
yeah,
come. Yeah, suck it up, exactly. Um, but as I was doing that, I noticed that there were a lot of my other friends who were climbing up the ladder real fast.
mm-hmm,
And I started to think like, hang on, like, you know, why am I
right,
still stuck here?
right,
Where's
right,
that great opportunity for me? Then obviously a good friend of mine told me, look, don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Everyone's got their own career path, their own career journey. Someone can climb up super fast, and
mm-hmm,
once they're up there, they could crash, or
mm-hmm,
someone might be stuck here and then eventually they'll get that golden opportunity, or some just stick there for the whole time. And in my head I was just like, oh, where's that opportunity, that one? Come on, come on, come on, it must be out there. um it didn't come. So I said, you know what, screw it, like, create your own opportunity.
right, right,
So
wow,
that's what it was. Like, the gym really was supposed to be open. When I was thinking about it in my head, like, when I hit 30, I thought like, when you have more experience, when you have more money, more connections, when you're more mature, open it then. But at the time I was 25, I said, you know what, why don't we just save 5 years and just open it now? If you're not
wow,
happy, you live once, right? And you
mm-hmm,
hear this all the time.
yep,
You only live once, you have one life, just make it a fucking happy
yep,
one?
mm-hmm,
So I said, let's cut 5 years and let's just do it now. No experience in running a business, but you sort of figure things out along the way.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you had a couple of people alongside with you to set up the gym.
Um, Mainly me, man.
It was all
And
you.
and and obviously the help of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
They helped me a lot. They
Mm-hmm.
they supported me a lot. They still support me. But yeah, it's just me.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
And with all like the connections that you make and all of that, it was all done by yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of help because a good friend of mine already had opened a fitness business before
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that support system from him, and obviously my parents who do run businesses. And you'll be surprised, like, I just asked a lot of my friends for
Right.
help. Um, but yeah, it was really my drive. I just wanted it so bad because I didn't really enjoy the life I was living, and I said,
Mm-hmm.
just make a change now.
Right.
So, if you really want something that bad, you'll figure out.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find a way to
Oh, that's
to to, to
amazing
make
that.
sure it happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
amazing knowing that. I mean, you showed how dedicated you are and how driven you are to really open this gym
Mm.
up, right? And people saw that. People saw that light and they don't even mind, right? To help you over. From your point of view, what makes a better gym compared to others?
I think 100%, the members and the community needs to feel part of
Yep.
something.
Hmm.
Um, and I think a lot of gyms do it better than others. But what makes people want to come back to the gym is because they want to see the familiar faces. They want to feel at home.
Hmm.
They want to feel comfortable. They want to feel like they're all working together to hit that one fitness goal they're all looking for. So I think the community 100% is super important. And one thing that plays a huge role is probably customer service.
Right.
From the point anyone steps in the gym, they need to feel welcome. they need to be greeted nicely from the people at the front desk. When they leave, they also need to be greeted with a simple goodbye. These small things make
A huge difference.
huge difference. Even small things like knowing someone's name.
Right.
Because end of the day, yes, it is a business, and this actually helps.
Yep.
Having that customer service will help with member retention, so on and so forth. So definitely community vibes, feeling part of a family, and customer service.
Right. So my question is, actually, how do you as a founder actually ensure that your team makes? How do you actually ensure that your team get that job done, which is building that community, building that relationship, building that good customer service with your customers, right? So how do you
Yeah.
take that measurement with your
That's a
team?
good question. I think company culture starts from the person at the top, right? So it needs to start off with me showing the right example, So it's my rule that I put. Everyone in the gym, all the staff needs to put an effort into knowing all of the members' names.
Wow.
So it starts off with me. It's not an easy task,
Right.
but as much as I can remember, I will ask for the members' names, and I will make sure as much as I can again, greet them with a handshake or a high five or whatever. So it starts off with myself. If I'm not showing the right example, then why are the staff going to do the same thing?
Right.
So how I ensure it happens is I have to be the walking proof, right? And once in a while I will check, and sometimes we will play games like what's this person's name? First person to tell
Wow,
me
that
this
must have
person's
been
name
hard
win
sometimes.
something. Yeah. But yeah, it's now part of just culture.
Right.
Like, we all know each other's names. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I feel like that's a really key thing to have in a company or in any businesses in a sense. We were having a podcast with Drink Rage before, and they also try to prioritize that element of their business, right? To ensure that their
Absolutely.
team gives the best to the customers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We know that Union Strength has been around for about good 2 solid years, right?
Almost 2 years.
Yeah,
Almost 2 years.
almost
End
2
of the year.
years.
Yeah.
Okay. I do believe that every businesses have their ups and downs. And I do want to know, like, from your side, what are some of the challenges throughout building up the gym and the Union Strength brand? And how did you actually overcome those problems, those challenges, if you might say that way?
Good question.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie and say that this has been an easy road,
Definitely,
right?
definitely.
It's not easy. But the hardest challenge for when we opened really was solving the problem of how do we get people's feet in the doors of the gym,
Right.
So we're located in just a small community mall. Location is great, but it's not known as to be the
Right.
top mall with a lot of foot traffic and things like this. So it's a relatively quiet mall. Problem one is how do we get people into the gym? Problem two was also staffing. How are we gonna get people to believe in the brand? How are we going to hire people? Because we're new, we're only new. Like,
Right.
what do we have to offer?
Right.
And because we're new, we also can't really afford high salaries
Right.
and things like this. So those were the two challenges. Of course, marketing helps. And at the same time, it's just a lot of hard work. I was in the gym pretty much every day for the first, I would say, 5 to 6 months.
Wow.
Just making sure that shit gets done,
Right, right,
that we get
right.
people in. And so the common issue with gyms is you will have a morning crowd before work, you will have an evening crowd after work, but what happens in between? Like, that's
Right.
difficult. So we've tried to do a lot of promotions to push people into the gym during the dull hours of the day. And we've also tried to, partner up with many other brands to bring people into the gym. So there was a lot of things like this, and trying to just get out there just join as many events, just get the name out there, get the word out there, offer a lot of things for free, free trials, and so on and
Yeah.
so forth. But that bites you in the back in the back after a certain point, because then it will reach a point where it's like, oh, you're doing too many promos, you're doing
Right.
offering this, like you're charging too low.
Yeah.
So
It's
this
getting
is
oversaturated. in a
yeah,
way,
so this is the stage we're at right now. We're trying to slowly phase out the old things that we used to
Right.
do, because now it's a lot better. It's a lot more
Mhm.
stable. Gym gets busy now. So we also want to uh, make sure that we're not overdoing it, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You need to find that right balance.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, to maintain our reputation and to maintain our brand, we can't
Mhm.
be that one that, you know, is super cheap and allows anyone, and we offer free this, free that. Like, you know, things have had to change.
Right.
Yeah.
So after coming into 2 years of handling this brand, growing the company, was there a point in time where you actually felt like things are not going your way? And what was your take on that feeling, and how did you actually deal with it at the same time?
Uh, most business owners will know that not everything goes your way,
Yep.
and more often than not, it probably doesn't go your way more so than it going
Right,
your
right,
way,
right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had many things where we had tried to host events or run like several promotions, and in our heads and planning it, we thought, whoa, this is gonna be a sellout. This is gonna
Right,
be super
right.
good. Like we're gonna do so well, and the day comes and just it's the complete opposite, and it goes to
Wow.
shambles. Um, of course, you will have days like that, but at the same time, we've also had days where we didn't think it would go well, and it
Right,
just
it's
just
the complete
went
opposite.
very
Yeah.
well, right? Um, so the main thing here is it's so important to just stay positive, just stay
Mm-hmm.
positive. And right now, because we are still considered a young and new company, it's all about trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really not scared to try new things. And
Mm,
if it works, I'm also not scared to fail. Because if it doesn't
nice.
work, it doesn't work. We're just not going
Yep.
to do it again.
Yep.
But we will find that one thing that does work, and we're going to make sure we hang on to that and
Right,
just do
right.
it, do it, do it. So main thing is just stay positive. Just stay
Mm,
positive and just keep at it. Because I think persistence will really help.
right. So when it didn't turn out like the way you wanted it, right? Were you also that source of motivation to keep your team to stay positive? Which I do believe that's naturally the way it goes. But was there a point in time where your team was like, it wasn't supposed to be this way? You know, it wasn't. It was supposed to be a lot bigger. I was expecting a lot bigger crowd. And how do you actually deal with that kind of feedback from your team
Mm,
yourself, right? Knowing that they're the core members as
yeah,
well. Yeah.
yeah.
So.
Of course, people will be like the team will be let down. They'll feel bad because a lot of the times they are the ones who really put in the effort to try and make it work. Um, but yes, you're right. Like it is up to the management
Mm-hmm.
or the owner or the founder or however you want to call it to boost the morale up and make sure that um, that it's okay. We failed this time, but we try again. I
Right.
think that's super important, because if at one point the owner says, "Oh gosh, that's the end of it. We're horrible. We're bad,"
Mm.
it really just affects the team.
Mm-hmm.
It will trickle down, and they will
Right.
start to feel that it's bad. And one thing we have to realize as the owners is the importance of a team. If no one works well together, if everyone is just not happy and the morale is down, then the truth is nothing's even gonna work, you know?
Mm.
So, uh, yeah, positivity is so important. Trying to make sure everyone is equally as motivated and letting them know that, it's okay if we don't get it right this time, but we gotta keep
Wow.
going. We can't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very humble, man. Yeah, it's really inspiring, like how humble of you as a leader yourself, as the owner, the founder, whatever you may call it, actually. But to see that you're willing to humble yourself down to in front of your team, and I do believe that actually creates that kind of I mean, if I were to be in your team, let's say that's the case, right? And hearing my own boss saying this kind of things. It will definitely make me feel like, you know what, I'm gonna stay with you. I'm really gonna rock this with you as well.
I hope that's the
Yeah.
case with the team.
Yeah. So Union Strength team, you better listen to this, all right? Knowing that you wanted to pursue a football career, didn't work out, you still want to prove to your friends and family that you want to make it big on corporate, but it didn't work out, and then you just said, fuck that, let's create my own opportunity, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's say there is someone who's in the exact same spot as you are, who
Mm-hmm.
have tried so many things, but things just don't work out for them, and they really want to start something on their own,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for those people who wanted to start something of their own, regardless of any industry it is, what are the things they should prioritize on from your point of view and your experience?
Um, so to whoever's listening to this, if you feel that, there's something you really passionately want to do, like, firstly, good job, because not everyone knows their passion. Like, a lot of people I grew up with, like, working with, when I started telling them more about the gym, they said, "Wow, Carlos, like, I really respect you first for taking making this big decision, taking the risk." But a lot of them said, "You know what? The problem is I want to do the same thing, but I just don't know what my passion is. I don't know what I'm passionate about. I want to set up a business, but I don't know in what." So if there's something you guys have in mind, like, honestly, understand that that's really, like, good job, because not everyone understands this. So I will say 100% go for it. But number one thing you should prioritize, end of the day, is it is a business, right? So it needs to make financial sense. So whatever it is, you write out your program, not program, I think about workout programs all the time. You write out your business plan. It needs to make sense. End of the day, it's a business. You're paying rent, you're paying bills, you're paying, salaries, so on and so forth. So it needs to make money. And if you see that it doesn't, that's not the end of the world. Find a way to make it work. Find a way to make money. So that's number one. Number two is, not everyone is going to agree with what you want to do. Not everyone will think it's a very good idea. And that also happened with me. But if you really want to do it, and in your heart you really want to succeed in it, just do it. To be honest, all it takes is one person saying, "Hey, do it. If you really like it, just do it,"
Right.
And if it has to be me, I'll tell you, just do it, if you really want to do it. But above all, it really does need to make financial sense. If you see it's not going to make money, then, to be honest, you probably shouldn't. But I will never say don't do it. I will always say just find a way to make it work, right? Often a lot of business owners at the start, they tend to be very generous, and I was thinking like this. At the start I was running the gym like it was a passion project. Like, I've always wanted to do this, so I do it. I can create a cool gym for everyone
Right.
to enter. But at one point, you start to realize, do you need to make money?
Right. It eats
So
you up slowly.
it eats you up slowly. So how long are you going to run these free things for? How long are you going to give like a low price for? That's not going to work, because end of the day, it's a business.
Right.
So yeah.
So number one would be, first of all, find your passion.
Yeah.
Really have that self-awareness about yourself. Number two would be, plan it out. Number three, see if it's sustainable
Yes.
for a long
Yes.
term
Yeah.
game, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So our listeners, take note of that. That's from Carlos Villa, by the way. All right, so right before we end this podcast, we do have two more questions to go with. How do you see Union Strength approaching the future fitness industry?
Ooh.
I like that.
So the gym has been purely an open gym since it opened. So we offer memberships, and people, and even like walk-ins, people can go in and just get in a workout. We slowly expanded into personal training, and that's been really good. So we are now able to help people on their fitness journey with certified personal trainers to help them reach their goals. The next step for Union Strength is to go into providing group classes. So that's one thing that the gym is lacking right now, like a private room, a private studio to run and conduct group classes. That's what a lot of people go for these days.
Right.
And I get it, because it's really all about the community thing that I'm telling you about, and working out together and motivating each other. So that's the next project we're working towards. We're looking at expanding our services into group classes. And beyond that, I mean, look, it would be great if we could open more union strengths. The question is obviously timing, and whether we want to open here in KL or expand overseas. But again, this is still very early stages.
Right.
But yeah, we take it step by step.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So last question for the day is, where can people find out more about you personally and your brand Union Strength?
Instagram is the best, guys.
Right.
My personal Instagram is at cvilla16. Union Strength is at unionstrength.my. You can also check out our website, which is www.union-strength.com. And yeah, we're super approachable. So send us a DM, send us an email, whatever it is, and we'll be in contact. And will be nice to train with some of you guys in the gym as well.
All right. Nice. I guess, Kelvin, you know where to go now?
Kelvin knows where to go. He knows where to go.
All right, everyone. So that's it from Carlos Villa today. Thank you so much for making some time with us today.
Thank you very much for
Really
inviting
appreciate
me.
it. Yeah. You've heard it straight from Carlos. There's a lot of inputs from him, from his experience, from his journey. And also, if you want to find out more about his brand, he just mentioned it, definitely drop him and his brand a follow and really keep up with what they're doing on a daily basis.
Thank you.
So that's it for today. Thank you so much. There you have it, folks. Sometimes all you really need is a little push into the right direction from the right person. And if you're wondering if it's the right step forward, well, you'll just have to take the first step to find out. I hope you gain tons of value from this podcast. And if you like this show, it will help us a lot if you share it with your friends and close ones. A special thanks to Carlos Villa for spending some awesome time with us. This was a collaboration between Culture Talent and Renegade Radio. This is your host signing off. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.